Hello, it's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, and creator of the Cinema Draft game. And once again, we've got the Giraffe Mom's favorite back in the house, the Hebrew Hammer. Say hello to people, Hebrew Hammer.
Thank you for having me back. Draft Mom, shout out. Your call sheet this week. So I'm back to talk about it.
That's right, that's right. Otto's little love, you lean in, we appreciate it, but we'll just jump right into it. I'll share my screen real quick so we can see all the action that is going on. And yes, we had quite an exciting weekend in the game. It was quite a finish, quite a photo finish. I say that only because there's one very pivotal game, which was our movie, which was not reporting it. Oh wow, we already got some signups. All right, good stuff. We're off to a good start this week. But in the feature presentation, you know, the big money tournament, the one we all look to, we had quite a photo finish down the stretch because your name was not reporting even weekend estimates, so it came down to the actuals and the scoring. And let me tell you, I am very excited to see how Gamble 24/7 leapfrogged from damn near back of the pack with six guys, six actors from your name, which did surprisingly well in the second weekend. It shedded about maybe 20 or 30 screens, but still had 733,000 to give Gamble 24/7 the win in the feature presentation. Let's take a look at his call sheet real quick. And what do you see here, Hebrew Hammer? What was it truly just the strength of your name that brought him that victory?
Yeah, I think what happened was everybody else seemed, including myself, went at least 4-pack of Colossal. And had we all gone 4-pack or more of your name, who knows? I mean, we might have had a tie at first place.
Yeah, absolutely. It was his 4-pack with the headliner stack in there of your name, which helped. He had a similar strategy to a lot of the top players, which had the Stars and Scrubs lineup call sheet of Fade and the Furious, Beauty and the Beast, and Boss Baby headliners, and then also getting a headliner stack of Colossal was pretty popular as well. And then what really kind of surprised me was that he just totally punted the limited release this week. He could not care. He could care less about the limited release. He just gave it a min price, min salary of Laura McKillop, and that was the difference, huh?
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that Beauty didn't do more. Boss Baby actually brought in more because I stacked both headliners for Boss Baby, and it ended up paying off there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody, I think, that made a limited play for the points this week. You had to have fast in there, and then it came down to which platform, were you going to ride to the finish line.
And absolutely, and I think where I made a mistake was where I probably gave a little too much credence to the limited mattering at all, because it seemed like that the in vogue move from the top players was just to totally punt limited release, as you did as well. And this is your call sheet. You just totally you got a headliner from limited release, and then you're like, yeah, I'm good.
That's exactly it. I mean, when I made this call sheet, I had to have fast. I mean, that was a lock. Mathematically, you couldn't do too fast, even anybody, regardless of headliners. And I honestly think Colossal underperformed. I thought it was going to do better this week than it did. I thought that it may edge out or do roughly the same numbers as your name. So, I thought that the lower price for that movie was the better way to go. But obviously, myself and a handful of us were wrong on that. So,
Yeah, and it was really tight up top though too, and it was really fun. It was a really fun sweat. Probably one of our closest, most exciting sweats ever. Mostly because of the hijinks going on in the group chat. If y'all haven't joined the group chat yet, feel free. It's public group chat. We do get a little raucous in there. We do like throwing up our side bets and our whiteboards.
Yes, I believe you actually posted in the chat Sunday that this thing was all but over, and I had to remind you that we had no idea where your name was, and all I needed was a strong weekend. Little did I know, Gamble was lying in the weeds also, but that was definitely the decider.
Yeah, some pretty exciting call sheets this week. Let's also take a look at Ring Balls, who had a pretty strong call sheet in this one. He went big on Colossal. He 6-packed Colossal, and Colossal, I guess we thought it would give us colossal returns, and I wouldn't say it totally disappointed, but it definitely I mean, well, it was only, I guess it was only on 100 screens. I guess it did fine because to take a look at the tape, as it were, it looks like Colossal pretty much did do a decent per screen average. It did, yeah, 4,700 per screen average, which is fine. It's on 98 screens, so it did so. But the fact it was only on 98 screens versus Your Name, which had 292 screens. I mean, you could see just the difference there. I mean, Your Name had about half the per screen average, but yet still did almost double the box office. So it was a numbers game that week. So that was a good. That was a good call sheet by our boy Ringballs. And actually, let's get to the call sheet of the week real quick. This is last week's call sheet of the week. Actually, the most recent one. There it is. We actually had a tie. We had a tie. Basically, they had the same strategy. Go ahead. You want to talk about the call sheet of the week a little bit?
Well, yeah, it was. I believe it's the one that Gamble took down the feature presentation with, and I think Ringballs had it in the Gaffer. I believe.
Yes.
He didn't make it in.
No, Ringballs had the background talent, and Gamble had it in the Gaffer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually can't see it. Hold on a second here. I'm going to get up close and personal for a minute.
There we go.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. I mean, the strategy is the same across the board. I think you had to have the fast headline, the cheapest of the two fast headliners, and they just had the right pick with the gamble on platform. Because I don't know anybody. I couldn't find any numbers going into the weekend on Your Name. I did it solely based on the amount of volume it did for the first opening week, which was unreal. Right. At I think 1.6 or 1.7, and figured even if it took a drop off, it's got to do well, and obviously it worked out well for these guys. So.
Yeah, and as the guy who creates a talent pool each week, it's always a little scary for me when I can't get reliable information on a release. I mean, no one wants to get like a min result. No one wants to get like 1 point or 1.40 points for a headliner. But so I did kind of with my own call sheet. I did do I think a 6-pack of Your Name in like maybe the gaff or something. But I couldn't bring myself to do it in the feature presentation. I couldn't do it. Too much side bets running in the group chat. Too much side bets. I couldn't quite get myself there. Speaking of the side bet king, Jay Devlin's call sheet, always a treat. And I think I did mention in the in the recap that it was a strong call sheet, but it had a couple of weak spots. And what do you think that kind of kept him out of the top 5 this weekend?
Let's see, Boss Baby, that's solid. Fate, Limited. I think he put too much emphasis on Limited. Honestly, I mean, that's way too much money for Limited. You missed out on points there, and. I don't know. I hate to keep repeating myself, but if you didn't have Your Name, you weren't going to win anything.
Yeah, this is true, and still, he wasn't even that far off the pace either. I mean, he was still, I mean, we're all within like 20 points of first. And you came in second by less than 4 points. I mean, we were seeing some really good strategies. And just pat myself on the back second. I snuck into the top 5. So
well, let me as you just mentioned, making the talent pool. So why this week? You can't. Why when Beauty came out, knowing what a monster that was going to be, or a beast, should I say? Why were we able to stack 2 headliners from that, but Fate, you didn't want to go that route? I mean, you knew that mathematically it was impossible to get 2 from Fate,
right
there. So the strategy almost forced it. For anybody who's played the game enough times now and has gotten acclimated, the strategy was almost laid out by you if you just followed the clues. I mean, you had to have a Fate. And after that, you kind of were locked in on picking another wide and going, the direction that everybody went.
True, and the idea behind having Fate the Furious so expensive is that there really was no competition. There really wasn't any. There really wasn't any kind of like secondary film that would take a big chunk out of Fate the Furious. And I will here for Momo and Nick listening at home, because I know they want to. I'm gonna get on camera for this one. For Momo and Nick listening at home, I was wrong. You were right. As far as for the poll, and brings back to the poll real quick. That we did. We had on our hour long. We had the poll of the over under for Fate the Furious. It was going to be whether it's going to be 100 million or 130 million or more. I was adamant. I thought it was going to hit 150. I was so excited for this movie. I saw it in D-Box at Thursday night too. I thought the word of mouth would be crazy. And it only did 98 million. Now, it wasn't a disappointment. I'm sure they all wanted to crack, was it 6 figure? There's too many zeros. 9 figures, whatever, at box office. But so I was wrong on how much it was going to do, and I basically figured that there's no movie that's going to come within 50 or 60 million of it, and none really did. So I figured that you only deserve to get one of them in. After that, you had to figure out the rest. And I think it was a pretty fun strategy because it showed the creativity, the pure creativity of all these kind of call sheets. It wasn't a week where there was one bona fide winning strategy out the gate. Like what ended up being your name was the winning strategy, but it wasn't obvious at the beginning. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the losing strategy, unfortunately, to those watching who are on the bottom, is to completely fade fate. I don't know what. I mean,
gee, nice. What are you doing?
That may be worse than me fading Beauty and the Beast. There's just no. You can't. I don't know why you played this one.
You can't win without a headliner from Fate of the Furious. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So it's just. What's funny though is I believe it set a record globally. Did it not?
Yes, I think it did. What was it, 532 million, something like that, globally, which
means a good amount of money came from overseas for a movie that's been primarily driven here at home, which is pretty crazy. So.
Yeah, and I mean, just to go into the politics of Hollywood a little bit. I mean, it's not without like planning. I mean, you have global icons and like The Rock and Vin Diesel, of course. But then I think back in like the fifth movie or so, they got in their head like, okay, we need to definitely diversify the cast, do very sexy locations around the globe. So each year they're like going different places, and I think that's what makes it really fun. I always like when they opened up in Cuba this year. I mean, that was awesome, and they actually shot in Cuba, which is great. Now the embargo's lifted. And it was a really cool flavor. And you saw the movie over the weekend, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you had fun globetrotting, and then the movie before that, they were in like fucking Dubai, like jumping skyscrapers. I mean, it's really definitely, it's almost like the James Bond of auto films, and I'm there for it.
It's come a long way from the Busta and tuna sandwiches, that is for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Or street racing in the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, we're good. All right, so let's take a look at some of these movies coming out this week. We've got the Katherine Heigl mess, unforgettable. The Promise, which looks like a small. Well, this is what kind of throws me. I've seen advertising for The Promise. It's historical fiction. I think it's about. I think it's set in Azerbaijan or something. Basically, I think it's when the attempted extermination of I'm gonna get this wrong. Actually, let's look it up real quick because I don't want to get history wrong like that and get people mad at me. But Christian Bale, Oscar Isaac, it's about the Ottoman Empire. There we go. Basically trying to love triangle, American journalist. Well, anyway, I saw something a little bit different. But anyway, historical fiction about about the Ottoman Empire, and I guess trying to get out the Turkish people or something, trying to kill the Turkish people. So I'm not sure it's really a date movie. Not really sure why it's on 2,000 screens. So that's a little bit. I won't be surprised if at Theater Lock this dips down into limited release category. To be honest with you, Born in China, which I almost thought about not putting the town pool because it only has 2 actors. It's got 2 different narrators for the different markets, but it's Earth Day coming up. Earth Day always does well at the box office, so we thought I'd throw that out there. Phoenix Forgotten, which actually this little red thing reminds me I need to add a few actors to that, but Phoenix Forgotten, I believe, limited release, another kind of strangely odd, wider release than probably should be noted. Yeah, it looks like like found footage type of movie. It looks no one you've heard of. What are you doing? What do these distributors just want to lose money? I don't understand it. Okay. And then also we've got that was last week. We got Free Fire, which actually looks interesting. I'm still unclear on how many screens going to be on. I'm guessing it's going to be platform, and they might roll it up bigger. That one stars Brie Larson, Academy Award-winning Brie Larson. There we go. And Charlton Copley, South African descent, who always makes some really interesting vocal choices. Have you ever seen? Do you see District 9? He was the lead in District 9.
No, I know of the movie. I've never seen it though. So
yeah, that was a fun one.
I dabbled on the mobile side of things this morning, just taking a look at what the town pool looked like, so I could start formulating a strategy. And I noticed.
Sweet, thanks for the plug. Mobile working just fine right now.
Yes, mobile's working fine, and I wanted to see if there was anything out or anything falling below. Honestly, where I could get to Fate in, and I realized that for the second week I cannot. So
yes,
I put my phone
that's
down.
damn straight.
I'll wait till I can get to the laptop to figure out what I'm going to do. But,
Yes, and then
yeah,
actually
there
looking at
was a
some
lot
of
of low priced risk reward kind of wide releases, that movies that maybe shouldn't be, like you said, may change come theater lock. But
yeah, and speaking of that, actually, let's sort by salary for a second, just out of curiosity. Generally, well, actually, no, I'll keep it ways. Generally, I like to get the grid up by weeks in release, so we kind of see what's up first to begin with. And so, and speaking of that Phoenix Forgotten a moment ago, I mean, this is like I said, risk reward. Yes, it's on 1,500 screens. I don't know why I haven't seen any kind of advertising for this movie, but so we priced it at damn near minimum price. But then you've got a movie like, say, The Lost City of Z. And now it says it's going to be on 500 screens, which if it holds exactly at 500, it still qualifies for platform, and that would be the coup of the week. That would probably, max stack Lost City of Z if I could, because just look at the boffo returns per screen last weekend for Lost City of Z. Lost City of Z per screen average by far 28,000. Now, obviously, it's not going to hold if it scrolls to 500 screens, but even if it does half that, which I think is quite possible because it's a critical darling. I've heard lots of hype about it on The Watch and other podcasts I listen to. The buzz is strong. It's about to be Hunnam season, damn it. King Arthur's coming next in like 3 weeks. It's about to be Hunnam season in this bitch. Lost City Z, Charlie Hunnam, aka Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. And if you do 10,000 per screen at 500 screens, you're looking at was it 5 million a screen? So yeah, it's about to be Hunnam season up in here. Yeah, 5 million, which would be like 50 DraftKings points, cinema draft points, and at freaking oh my god, 70 per headliner. Oh my god, please stay at 500. This is gonna be 494. We'll take it because it's gonna be. I mean, it's about to be Hunnam season up in this piece if we can get that at that.
You're giving a lot of information out on this review here, sir.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of going off the top of my dome. Either I don't have any notes or anything, but I've been clocking Lost City of Z. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's playing at the what was it, the AMC Town Square, down South Strip. So I might check it out this weekend. Hell, I'm looking for a movie to watch post lock on Thursday. This might be my movie. It looks Indiana Jones-ish as far as adventure goes. I'm there for it. Well, what movies are you looking out for this weekend, HebrewHammer? Besides the obvious.
I'm actually not. I will not be in the theaters at all this weekend. So everything that I've actually wanted to see, I have seen. And I will wait for probably, in all honesty, I may wait till Star Wars comes out before I have anything that draws me that I have to go to the theaters.
Till December? Okay. for those studio heads who are listening, who are looking to invest in cinema draft, the HebrewHammer's taste do not reflect that of our average moviegoer.
Look, I will spend the money on the movies. I mean, it was a hot season this last season for me. There was a lot of things that I really liked and I saw, but it's really nothing's jumping out right now.
No, I hear you. I mean, obviously, I go every week, not just for market research, but also because I love the movies. But I am looking forward to King Arthur. That's definitely on my radar. And there's still a couple that are out here that I'm still I'm interested in Gifted. I want to see Gifted, believe it or not.
I guess I should say King Arthur, which probably would be on my list. Gifted, I'll have to see because the wife wants to. So
there you go.
Yes. For Star Wars.
Hey, let's get her playing the game possibly. Does she play games at all? Is she interested in movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean she's a DraftKings player, so I'm sure I could get her on.
Oh yeah, let's see. I mean, we've got like 2 or 3 working couples up in this piece. Smart Ash, who we've actually missed the last few weeks. Hopefully she'll be back in the game this week. She and Ring Balls are a couple. The reigning the reigning king and queen, Jay Bird and Kelly. There are our Canadian adventures up there, and yeah. So I'm definitely as I like to. We have an actual ad that says the couple that drafts together lasts together. So definitely take a look at. There you go. Definitely take a look at Lost City of Z. If you're looking for something for the wife. Zookeeper's Wife sounds a little depressing, but historical fiction. I'm usually kind of there for it. I still didn't see Power Rangers. I'm mildly interested. I could, if it's like a slow Wednesday, which hasn't existed for the past few weeks, but if I get a slow Wednesday, I might check out Power Rangers. That's still out there. And as far as the game goes, I mean, it looks like actually, I take that back. I'm looking to see Get Out again. I actually have a friend I want to take to see Get Out. I think she'd really enjoy it.
There's people who haven't seen that yet.
I know, right? You've seen Get Out, right?
Yes, there's people who haven't.
Yeah, and yeah, apparently not, because this sucker keeps chugging along. It's still. I mean, look at per screen, 21st per screen, about 2,000 per screen, which is not bad in like its third month of release. That's bananas. So 2.9 million is actually second in limited releases for our game. So it's still doing its thing, man. Get Out is still out there. I'm actually guesstimating that it will drop. Oh, and of course I lost my joint. But I'm guesstimating it's going to drop to about maybe I don't know 300 or so screens. And I mean, 300 drop about maybe 300 or 400 screens, about maybe 800 or 900, and it'll probably still do about, I don't know, 2 million. So you never know. It's got some good stuff out there for the people. And yeah, any parting shots, HebrewHammer, while we wrap this up? I mean, a lot of good stuff to look out for. I'll do a more detailed shot list with my recording tonight. We've got the tripod back, the WBW, plus also what's his face? G Nice, of course. Oh, no, it looks like we lost the HebrewHammer. But that's all right. We really enjoyed having him and his takes. Hopefully that'll satisfy the draft bomb. And on our way out, of course, it's one to tip you guys to check out the movies and everything. Check out what's trending at the box office is the WBW. Like to say, check out the zeitgeist, what's in what's in theaters and everything. Make sure to have all your friends come sign up for the game. We are looking for making expansion next week. Hopefully we'll be able to widen up the player pool, so, fill up these tournaments and contests. Go to cinemadraft.co. That is cinemadraft.co. Follow us on all of our social media. Make sure you find an outlet for you to follow our movies and follow all the things we're looking into. It is very much a fun game. I'm kind of flailing here. I had some technical difficulties, but really enjoyed having HebrewHammer in again. And between now and our next podcast, make sure you subscribe and everything. Tell all your friends. But of course, between now and the next podcast, go see a movie or something.